Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for being so kind in your words. Okay, I'll just start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatamidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी कृष्ण भावनुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांता स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, all right. I'll start with a quick follow-up on what we so far went through so that uh, we can get into the flow of what the story is about. So basically, this is a beautiful allegorical story by sage Narad to King Prachin Bharishat. He basically saw him ruthlessly doing killing animals in the name of sacrifice, and out of compassion, he indirectly wanted to unfold a story which can give him an insight to uh, reflecting on his own life. So basically, he narrates a story which starts with King Puranjan, which symbolizes the soul who is searching for pleasure, and then he searches in different places and basically finds a city with 9 gates, which represents human body and all of its various parts and its senses. There is a beautiful description given in chapter 25 for that, about the symbolism of what the gates are and how beautiful that city is. Then, King Puranjan encounters a beautiful woman, which symbolizes the intelligence. And there are all the sensual pleasures and engagements, which basically symbolizes the attachment of the soul with the intelligence and so-called material body and intelligence. So basically, captivated by that, he is basically illusioned into enjoying the senses and being in attachment with that body and intelligence. Now, flowing into that, in the next chapter, which Samaksh Prabhu discussed last week, uh, we basically saw that there is a urge to hunt in the King Puranjan's mind, and he basically sets aside his intelligence, which is queen, and indulges in hunting ruthlessly and killing animals in the forest. Having done that for a while, um, he basically realizes and returns back home to seek comfort again, having uh, done all what he wanted with that urge that came about. And then he went back and kind of please desperately to the intelligence or the queen here in a flatter way, with all the compliments and acknowledging his mistakes, which basically led him to whatever he was doing, which leads us to this chapter basically. And now we will see the effect of time and how King Purañjana is actually spending his time in such a beautiful way, but there is a role of time that comes in. So we'll continue the reading, and let me share my screen. Yeah, we'll need 3 readers. Can you guys see my screen? Oh, no, you guys can't yet. Hmm. Hmm. Try again.
You are waiting for readers, Prabhu?
And now I'm waiting to share my screen. I'm trying.
You need to be made co-host, I think. Oh, yeah. You are. Yes, Prabhu, we can see now. It's
You
coming up.
can. Okay, I can't see that.
I mean, it's coming up. Not yet seeing, but
Not yet, Prabhu. Not yet. What do you see on your screen?
The screen is paused. Your screen sharing is paused.
you
Pause.
need to go to the tab which you want to share. Then it will start.
Okay, yeah, now it is. Yeah.
So we were in Abhideya. Now we are in Prayojan.
Sorry, what do you mean by that? Sorry.
It was a joke, Prabhu. Sorry. Forget about. I explain later. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Samaksh Prabhu, you can start. Or Vrindarupi Mother.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Okay. Chapter 27. Attack by Caṇḍavega on the city of King Purañjana. The character of... Can you
Yeah.
hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, before you start, we can just do 3 readers, 10 each. Sorry. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Prabhu. Sounds good. Chapter 27. Attack by Caṇḍavega on the city of King Purañjana. The character of Kalyana. Text 1. The great sage Narada continued. My dear king, after bewildering her husband in different ways and bringing him under her control, the wife of King Puranjana gave him all the satisfaction and enjoyed sex life with him. The queen took bath and dressed herself nicely with all the auspicious garments and ornaments. After taking food and becoming completely satisfied, she returned to the king. Upon seeing her beautifully decorated, attractive face, the king welcomed her with all devotion. Queen Puranjani embraced the king, and the king too responded by embracing her shoulders. In this way, in a solitary place, they enjoyed joking words. Thus, King Puranjana became very much captivated by his beautiful wife and deviated from his good sense. He forgot that the passing of days and night meant that his span of life was being reduced without profit. Okay. In this way, increasingly overwhelmed by illusion, King Puranjana, although advanced in consciousness, remained always lying down with his head on the pillow of his wife's arms. In this way, he considered woman to be his ultimate life and soul. Becoming thus overwhelmed by the mode of ignorance, he could not understand the meaning of self-realization, whether regarding his own self or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear King Prachina Bharishat, in this way, King Puranjana, with his heart full of lust and sinful reactions, began to enjoy sex with his wife, and in this way, his new life and youth expired in half a moment. The great sage Narada then addressed King Prachina Bharishat. Oh, one whose lifespan is great, Virat. In this way, King Puranjana begot 1100 sons within the womb of his wife, Puranjani. However, in this business, he passed away half of his lifespan. O Prajapati, King Prachina Bharishat, in this way, King Puranjana also begot 110 daughters, 110 daughters. All of these were equally glorified, like the father and mother. Their behavior was gentle and they possessed magnanimity and other good qualities. Of these many sons, each produced hundreds and hundreds of grandsons. In this way, the whole city of Panchal became overcrowded by these sons and grandsons of Puranjana. These sons and grandsons were virtually plunderers of King Puranjana's riches, including his home, treasury, servants, secretaries, and other paraphernalia. Puranjana's attachment for these things were very deep-rooted. Hare Krishna.
Do we have other readers? Yes, Mataji. You can go from.
Yes, from the great sage Narada continued, my dear King Pachini Barishar, like you, King Puranjana also became implicated in so many desires. Thus, he worshipped demigods, forefathers, and social leaders with various sacrifices, which were all ghastly because they were inspired by the desire to kill animals. Thus, King Puranjana, being attached to fruitive activities, karma kandya, as well with kith and kin, and being obsessed with polluted consciousness, eventually arrived at that point not very much liked by those who were overly attached to material things. O king, in Gandharvaloka, there is a king named Caṇḍavega. Under him, there are 360 very powerful Gandharva soldiers. Along with Caṇḍavega, there were as many female Gandharvis as there were soldiers, and all of them repetitively plundered all the paraphernalia for sense enjoyment. When King Gandharva Raja Caṇḍavega and his followers began to plunder the city of Puranjana, a snake with 5 hoods began to defend the city. The 5-hooded serpent, the superintendent and the protector of the city of King Puranjana, fought with the Gandharvas for 100 years. He fought alone with all of them, although they numbered 720. Because he had to fight alone with so many soldiers, all of whom were great warriors, the serpent with 5 hoods became very weak. Seeing that his most intimate friend was weakening, King Puranjana and his friends and citizens living within the city all became very anxious. King Puranjana collected taxes in the city known as Panchala, and thus was able to engage in sexual indulgence. Being completely under the control of women, he could not understand that his life was passing away and that he was reaching the point of death. When King Prachina Bharishat, at this time the daughter of formidable time, was seeking her husband throughout the 3 worlds. At this time, the daughter of formidable time was seeking her husband throughout the 3 worlds. Although no one agreed to accept her, she came. The daughter of time, Jara, was very fortunate. Consequently, she was known as Durbhaga, ill-fated. However, she was once pleased with a great king, and because the king accepted her, she granted him a great benediction. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah, Krishna, you can go ahead. Yes, Prabhu, you can go ahead from 21.
When I once came to this earth from Brahmaloka, the highest planetary system, the daughter of time, wandering over the universe, met me. Knowing me to be an avowed brahmachari, she became lusty and proposed that I accept her. The great sage Narada continued, When I refused to accept her request, she became very angry at me and cursed me severely. But I refused her request. She said that I would not be able to stay in one place for a long time. After she was thus disappointed by me, with my permission, she approached the king of the Yavanas, whose name was Bhaya or fear, and she accepted him as her husband. Approaching the king of Yavanas, Kālakanyā addressed him as a great hero, saying, "My dear sir, you are the best of the untouchables. I am in love with you, and I want you as my husband. I know that no one is baffled if he makes friends with you. One who does not give charity according to the customs and injunctions of the scriptures, and one who does not accept charity in that way, are considered to be in the mode of ignorance. Such persons follow the path of the foolish. Surely they must lament at the end." Kālakanyā continued, "O gentle one, I am now present before you to serve you. Please accept me and thus show me mercy. It is a gentleman's greatest duty to be compassionate upon a person who is distressed." After hearing the statement of Kālakanyā, daughter of time, the king of Yavanas began to smile and devise a means for executing his confidential duty on behalf of Providence. He then addressed Kālakanyā as follows. The king of the Yavanas replied, "After much consideration, I have arrived at a husband for you. Actually, as far as everyone is concerned, you are inauspicious and mischievous. Since no one likes you, how can anyone accept you as his wife? This world is a product of fruitive activities. Therefore, you may imperceptibly attack people in general. Helped by my soldiers, you can kill them without opposition." The king of the Yavanas continued, "Here is my brother Prajvara. I now accept you as my sister. I shall employ both of you as well as my dangerous soldiers to act imperceptibly within this world." Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you for reading both the Matajis and Prabhu. And yeah, I'll just quickly kind of summarize basically what these different segments are and what these characters represent. So first we see King Purañjana's further attachment in the household life. They're basically increasing family ties as he begets more children with the queen, and basically increasing his attachment in that way. His so which basically keeps him away from the self-realization or any path towards that. So, and also it says that these sons and grandsons were virtually plunderers of King Purañjana's riches. So basically, as sons and grandsons inherit riches, and Purañjana here was attached, his attachment for these things was very deep-rooted, that his attachment to his family and to his children and grandsons were so deep-rooted that it was not giving him a bigger picture or higher purpose of life. And continuing that, after basically he started doing more worshipping demigods, forefathers, to kind of with various sacrifices to keep his family opulent as it is, and keep his city and sons and grandsons in all the desires that he had. So it's also said he was polluted. He was so obsessed being attached to fruitive activities, which is Kālakanyā, that he was overly attached to these material things. Now, this 1 to 12 is one section where we see King Purañjana's attachment because of his neglect to self-realization. He becomes so consumed into the material attachment and desires for his family that he was completely ignorant and about the spiritual truth. Now, the second section here is basically from 13, where we see the attack of Caṇḍavega. So Caṇḍavega here represents the passage of time, and the 360 here represents 365 days of the year, roughly. And then female Gandharvis here represent the night. So there is day and night. So in total, there were like 720. And all of them with time was plundering his sense enjoyment. So as the time passes, the sense enjoyment is plundered. And I really like the way Jagannath Gopal Prabhu puts it, which starts as casual exploration ends up in bonded addiction, something like that. So it was with time, it was plundering all that. And now the snake with 5 hoods, which we saw earlier in the chapters, which was basically the life force, and which here represents, if you funnel it down, the energy. So basically, as the time passes, the energy of the man reduces, and they tend to do less with whatever they could do before. So they become weak. The serpent with 5 hoods became weak, and basically King Purañjana and his friends and citizens living within the city all became very anxious. Now, this until 18, it's basically saying all the attacks that was happening. So this was all the attack of the time, and basically serpents, which is the life force and energy, fighting with that time. But it is also mentioned here that it is inevitable, and it is inevitable challenges and adversities which come in life during this time, kind of, and he couldn't understand that his life was passing away until the point when he was old enough to not be able to engage much in sensual pleasures, which he used to. Now, then the daughter of time came into the picture, which is unfortunate, which is ill-fated here. The daughter of time here represents old age. So we see there is very as the time passes, the old age, disease, and then death, these are very inevitable. And this kind of shows its importance in the person's life. And without, it's ill-fated, it's durbhag only for people who are not aware of their spiritual nature. And in that, there is a lot of fear, which will come again. And now Narada was saying a personal story about okay, this, because he was always young, he says this daughter of time, which is old age, was trying to attack him, and he refused to accept. And he gave, so the curse was given to him to travel from one place to another, which is kind of a boon for Narad here. And now old age accompanies fear. So this symbolizes that with old age comes fear. And basically, here the Bhaya is the husband of Kālakanyā, which is the old age. and this basically says all the planning that it does to kind of basically take away all the sensually pleasures and basically all the inauspiciousness and mischievous things that it does to kind of so this inauspicious and mischievous is represented to Kālakanyā, that nobody wants it. It is something which like nobody likes, but it is inevitable. And yeah, and then the king of the here. So this Prajvara is basically the disease. So disease with fear and fear of death, and Kālakanyā kind of attacks the person and kind of brings them to the reality of material conception of life, which is inevitable. So basically, in this story, King Purañjana basically sees the reality as the time passes. And his deep attachment is at his face now. Now this kind of continues over and basically gives a representation of how that affects his end moment in the next chapters. But taking on to Samaksh Prabhu's idea, I actually also switched to Menti, and I will share that so that we can go more into how time plays a role in our life and what do we learn from it. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. All right. So yeah, basically role of time in King's life. So King Purañjana's attachment, which was the first 12 verses where he was begetting children and all the attachment that he was going through without realizing the role of time. Then the attack by time happened, which plundered his sensual pleasures. The daughter of time, the Kālakanya's quest, which is basically is inauspicious and everyone has to go through it. It's not merry time. And then it schemes with bhaya, which is fear, to kind of bring person to a reality of the last moment. Now let's do some basically let's do some interactive thing here with Menti. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for bringing this idea last week. It is very helpful to engage people. So yeah, we can like if everyone can take out their phone and just enter this code or just scan the QR code, it will help us move to the next section because it is basically questions from what we just saw and how can we see that representation and the conclusion that it came about. So it will be in the quiz form, and yeah, very easy questions, nothing tough, so nothing to fear about. Is everyone ready? Not able to. Okay.
Says it's waiting for the presenter.
Okay, nice. All right. Okay, so we have to understand what is the role of Caṇḍavega and kind of give one of the answers. Once everyone is done, so we only have 2 players, it seems like here.
So Prabhu, it's saying the presenter hasn't changed slides yet.
Yeah, after you selected the answer.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm waiting for more people. 5 people have joined, so that's good. Yeah, once everyone is done. I see 6 people now.
The Kina dilute model.
Okay. So 4 said passage of time and 1 each for this. Sorry, I'll just go back and okay. So it is passage of time. That's what it represents. Now King Puranjan and Queen Puranjani. What do they represent here? Two more to go. Okay, we have everyone. Okay, sorry, I need to. So that is attachment and material desire. Nice, everyone got it. Now Kālakanyā. We got 8 people. That's correct. Now Bhaya. Yeah, waiting for one more. Yes. Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's fear. Bhai is fear. Yeah. Okay. So now it will basically have fast. So whoever answers first, basically. I mean,
What about all the answers we gave, Prabhu? I got all right.
yeah, it was marked as right. So probably there will be a leaderboard at the end. But
So
yeah.
my name, I cannot. I don't seem to change my name. It's it says some Ronald or something.
I could change. Mine was Montana.
Okay.
I could not even go back to the. Okay, should I just do? I'll just join whatever.
Yeah. So we have 7 players right now.
I like it like this. This way we can stay anonymous.
I know. I shouldn't have said my name.
5 players. Come on, 3 players.
You can reveal yourself only if you come first. Otherwise, no one knows.
Yeah, so we just had 8 players. Now it's 5. You have to keep the screen on. Okay. Nice. We have everyone. Answer fast to get more points. I should have read the question. Sorry for that. Yeah, nice. All right. Who are the 360 very powerful Gandharva soldiers led by Caṇḍavega, allegorically representing in King Puranjan's story? Okay. Let's see. Nice. Everyone did right. King Puranjan's numerous sacrifices and rituals show his understanding of spiritual life. True or false? Right. The answer is false. 7 people got it right. Kālakanyā is celebrated and welcomed everywhere she goes. Okay. Yeah, this was evident. So by marrying Kālakanyā, Bhaya gains influence over King Purañjana's city, symbolizing how old age leads directly to fear and decline. Is it true or false? Yeah, this is easy. Nice. So by the end of the story, it's clear that King Purañjana's choices were driven by ignorance rather than wisdom. Is it true or false? I mean, end of the whatever we are in. Okay, nice. Everyone was paying attention, seems like. Nice. Whoever is. Okay. Room. Room 1. Whoever wants to, if wants to reveal themselves.
Vallabh Chaitanya Prabhu. Congratulations, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, he's lying. It's
That
me.
is Nupur.
Okay. All right. Let's go to some discussions now. Let's say we have 24 hours left to live, and like King Purañjana, realizing his time is limited, what percentage of time would you spend in doing what? So you have 5 options here. How will you allocate this 100% of time that you have, which is 24 hours, to make the best use of your time? You just have to allocate 10, 10, 10, and then, I mean, yeah, by the number of tens to complete 100 and then submit. This is self-reflective, yeah, thing. You can take your time, think about it. This is also anonymous, so we'll just see which ones have more preference in people's life than actually peeking into other people's things. Which is also fun, but yeah.
Oh, thanks for telling me after I submitted it.
Oh, sorry. Maybe for next question it could be. Okay. Are we waiting for 2 more? Or I think it will change. Okay. Most people want to spend quality time with their loved ones. Okay, it changed. Okay, people will start making amends and express gratitude, and then spend quality time with loved ones, and then spend time to share wisdom or lesson learned with others. Then fourth is reflecting on personal achievements and experiences, and then enjoying nature and experiencing beauty.
Enjoying nature. Okay.
Yeah, did you have any comment, Prabhu?
No, no, Prabhu.
It's a very good question, Prabhu.
Okay, we have similar ones coming, so yeah, we can also talk and discuss about like like how do we like if anyone wants to share like why did they choose what they chose, just to reflect on their, if they want to.
Yes, I have a question in this one.
Yes.
Why were so what's people's thought process behind sharing wisdom or lessons learned with others?
Yeah.
Like if somebody has selected that, do you mind like sharing your thought process behind that?
So I selected that, Mataji, as one
I
of
also
the.
selected that. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go, Mataji? You can share first.
No, you go. Okay.
No, I mean, I just felt that whatever I have learned in my Ninder Pitu Bisiyada. Mataji, you can go. I need to take care of
Okay.
Pritu and Rohan.
Yeah. I mean, basically, the reason for sharing is so that other people get alerted. So it kind of comes from the experiences that were learned and then sharing the wisdom. Like there are many people in ISKCON when before they passing away, they were expressing their mood and how to pass away gracefully, right? So from that we know that okay, there is also this possibility that is available. So just showing others what possibility, if we are successful at, if we think that we are successful at a graceful passing away for ourselves, then we can share it with others so that it doesn't have to be all of a sudden or fearful or anything like that. That's
Yeah, and similar to what Mataji mentioned, yeah, we've had experiences, and even if we have failed in certain things, even that can be a lesson for others. So, in the sense that, we can be the negative examples, we can be the Puranjan for them. So, in that sense, yeah, sharing the wisdom and experiences that we had in our lives. Of course, the body also has to allow at that time, but in any case, like the example in Shastra for this is Bhishma Dev, right? He's on his deathbed, he's on the bed of arrows. And in fact, most of Mahabharat, actually, a major chunk of Mahabharat is actually Bhishma Parva, right? And that Bhishma Parva is Bhishma's instructions to Yudhishthir Maharaj and the Pandavas. On his deathbed, Yudhishthir and the Pandavas, they come to ask him questions, and at that time, he gives very deep wisdom. So that time, yeah. And then finally, he passes away looking at the face of Krishna. So, yeah, that is the. So, yeah, Bhishma is one example of giving wisdom at the time of passing away, I guess. Of course, I'm not saying we should compare ourselves with Bhishma, but the idea of sharing wisdom, if possible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. So, can you identify any Kālakanyās or bhayas that influence your decisions? Again, this is anonymous and it's like a word cloud. So, we'll see how many people, like, what kind of things do people identify with in their like
it is not
faith.
changed in my thing. I don't know. It is. Oh,
Oh, did it now?
it did skip ahead. Should I just say skip ahead?
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I don't know what doom scrolling means. I'm just assuming it's scrolling. I like the YouTube answer. Okay, we have multiple.
Oh, one
ways.
word or more than one word? Remember last time we had.
You can just give one word, or if you think there are more bhayas or Kālakanyās that you can identify, then of course it's good to mention more so that we can see the bigger words. Nice. So I think failure has the maximum, because that's the highlighted one.
It's because it's one word, Proji. So I think we should all. What is this? YouTube, couch? What are these answers?
I think like my
It's called doom scrolling.
I think YouTube is more like just staying on YouTube, and couch is
But how will
just
that influence? How is that a fear that will influence your decision?
okay, just staying on YouTube more, or yeah, that can influencing your decision. Yeah, that could not be connected much, but yeah, I think failure is kind of related to loss and loneliness, losing loved ones. No, not losing loved ones, but
Prabhuji, I think I misunderstood the question. I thought what are the Kālakanyās in my life? That is what I was looking at. Kālakanyās is, I'm assuming, is time wasted? Is it?
yeah, I mean, so it's more like bhaya, which is influencing your decision, as in some fears, and Kālakanyā is like more like you, yeah, like it's more like stagnant, I would say, or a fear that you're not able to overcome right now.
Bhaya is fear, but I thought Kālakanyā was the daughter of time.
Yeah, which is like old age or that thing. So
Oh, it's
I
old age. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So it's not the passage of time. It's not time itself.
Yeah, it's more like, that's why I said it's stagnant, because it's like more like it's just staying with me. It's not, yeah.
Okay, it's old age. Okay.
Okay. Attachments. Yeah, that's one of the big things that can influence our decisions. Dreaming. Does that mean daydreaming, maybe? Or how does that influence our decisions? But yeah, I think we have many answers now. But yeah, I think failure is the big one. And there is a lot of failures that can be there, like failure to basically failure in spiritual growth, or to create some change, to basically confront any reality, or basically be able to failure to give up on some of the things that we want to. So those, and
So
yeah,
could failure be like the what is it, like a guilt or a feeling of guilt? What is influence your decisions? I'm just trying to understand how failure.
I can explain, Mataji.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so for me, the fear of failure. So I don't do things because I fear failing. So if I have to do something, I will overthink it and assume that if I fail, it's going to be very bad. So I don't do it. So that's how fear of failure influences my decisions. That's what I was
see.
thinking.
But at an old age, when
Yeah, no, I was focusing on the bhayas aspect
got
of
it.
it.
Yes. Yeah, for those of you who wrote failure, I'm just trying to understand failure, because a lot of people apparently wrote failure.
Fear of failure, yeah, that can influence a lot
Fear,
of decisions. Yeah.
fear of failure at that old age, and when we are fear of failure, is it the guilt of already failed? Because I mean, at that point, what could be a fear of failure? I mean, that it's old age. I mean, you can't do anything much about it. Is it the guilt that we had failed, embarrassment, or what is? I'm just trying to.
I think you're right, Mataji. At that point of time, there you're not. It's like this life is going to end, and there is nothing you can do, and you can fail at it. So yeah, it's definitely uh, what has already happened, and
Yeah.
of course, in one sense, you can think that as a sadhaka, if we can't remember Krishna, then that will be a failure. But then I don't know. Yeah, yeah, it's tough to think in that situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is a good reflection point on what are our current like what I would say, like Purañjana's sons, which we can actually identify, and um, more like our attachments to this fear could be also could also be influencing the decisions. So probably, yeah, basically this can. So this is more like a self-reflection on what can we do about it.
And thanks for whoever wrote the doom scrolling. It's I just looked it up. It's actually very important to.
What does it mean?
I mean, it's act of spending too much time consuming negative news on
Okay.
social media or on the web. Like,
Yeah.
just mind wants to go on the negative aspect.
Okay. I think we have had enough answers for this to move on. Don't want to keep in the bhaya part. Okay. So Kālakanyā gives you 3 challenges. Prioritize your health, strengthen relationships, or pursue knowledge. Which do you choose? So again, it's anonymous. So it's just to see which person would like, what do we generally tend to choose more?
Can you choose multiple in this one?
You can have like it's like a preferences list, so you can choose first, second, and third, all
Oh,
3.
okay.
Yeah, you can. And feel free to share why you chose what you chose, if you are encouraged to, just in case. Okay, we got 6 answers. I'm showing the responses. Okay. So most people chose relationships, and then health, and then knowledge. Yeah, I think knowledge at that point would be more like, okay, there is it could be more like giving knowledge than pursuing knowledge. So yeah, and then strengthen relationships. So okay, and then health.
Yeah.
Kālakanyā is old age, right?
Yes.
So Kālakanyā is like old age as in like really old or like just old?
A good question. I also had that question.
I think close to death.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
Otherwise,
okay,
it's not
okay.
that old, right? Kālakanyā is like it's just Kal coming.
Okay, okay.
Like, is it around the
So,
corner?
Yes.
okay, okay, okay. So then in this case, health is more like you want to get healthy in that situation.
Is that a question? Or
Yes, yes, like that's a question. Because like if you're so close to death, then health, how does health come into question?
I mean, you can fight and try to, because there are like there can be people who wants to fight the death and want to elongate maybe through some, like it's not known when death will come, even when death is nearby. So right now we can say, okay, it's near death, but right now we are sitting here and saying that, but when that time is there, let's say 70, what would you choose? That is the question. You don't know if it is 75, 72, or 780, right? That is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, right, right. Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, it can be in that way wrongly prioritized if it is inevitable in 2 years, but we don't know that.
I just want to know the thought process of those who chose relationships over health. Like, why would you compromise on health? And because when we have health, we can have relationships, better relationships. Why was relationships prioritized?
I guess I can share. So I put relationships first. So one of the things in at that point in the old days is that there is only so much you can do for health. There is only something like we can't. It's like we can't regain our youth back, right? That is not possible. Whatever we do, whatever we do, we can't come back at that peak of our health. So there is only a limited improvement that we can do in terms of health, and that is the reason I guess I chose to relationships. How I can enrich my relationships, and which also sort of ties into one of the previous questions, which talked about expressing gratitude and those kind of things. Those things enrich the relationships, and yeah, maybe something like that. And I guess priority. So this is when I saw the word prioritize. The thing that came to my mind is, okay, if we choose relationships first, it's not that we are ignoring health or knowledge, but it's just that they are on a lower priority. Those will be there. Like I will probably do something for my health, but maybe more important would be relationships. Something like that is my thought process. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, again, it's right. It's difficult to imagine what now I can say big things, relationships.
Yes, yes.
Thing.
Yeah.
I might cave into the pressure and go to go for health at that point of time. So I don't know. Stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, like, for example, if let's say I had dementia or something, Alzheimer's, I may not even remember my relationships. Might as well I focus on my health and then work on my relationships. That was what I was thinking. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for your answer.
So one of the thought process for this was like healthy relationships or actually fosters like well-being, and when we are in the good state of mind, it is easier for us to actually focus on things, even if our physically we may not be that healthy. or there is some pain. But if we are emotionally healthy in terms of our relationships, then it is easier to, basically.
Well, at that point, physical health is kind of ruled out. I mean, like,
Yeah.
somebody was saying that, yeah, like, there's only so much we can do. I thought we were talking about like majority mental health only.
Okay.
Because it's an old age, right? I mean, the body is kind of given up. It's not a
Mm,
disease, it's an old age.
okay.
So
But
that is why I was, yeah.
yeah, so here Kālakanyā is like, does old age really leads to mostly to mental health or physical health? Because old age, from
I mean,
my
see,
yeah,
I was thinking the whole old age definitely affects physical first, right?
yeah,
And then, I mean, some people are maybe bedridden because, they had fallen down in a bathroom or something, but then they are mentally like super strong, right? They're unable to get up from their bed, but then they know exactly what's happening in the house, right? Every corner of the house. They're very alert when mentally. Body
yeah,
gives out. First the body gives out, and then the mental faculty gives up, right?
yeah,
Normally that is a progression. I'm not saying everybody goes through that. I'm just saying during old age, body weakens, but then the mental faculty is like super,
yeah,
like sharp for some.
yeah. It's hard to imagine that, but I wrote it from the perspective that I thought of it as a perspective that health is more like physical and relationship actually builds your emotional uh, health more. But yeah,
So,
I see your point. Physical can lead to emotional. Yeah.
and to support your point, Ritesh Prabhu, there is a Harvard study. Maybe some of you may have heard the TED Talk. It started in 1937 or something like that, and it goes on even now. And that study showed that good relationships lead to a happier life, and it's like a multi-generational study
Mm.
that they've done. So relationships are probably the most important contributor to happiness in life. So that's why I chose relationships.
Mm. Yeah.
But I chose knowledge second because I was also thinking about the inevitability of that the body is going to be weak anyway. But I think I'm being a little idealistic here. Probably at that time I'll be worried about my body and prioritize my body first.
Mm. Yeah, makes sense. Actually, maybe so consumed into whatever is going with the body that probably not be so easy to grasp knowledge at that point. Maybe. Yeah.
I agree with you. With pain, sometimes that will just supersede everything else. If the body is experiencing pain, then nothing else will really make sense. Even relationships won't matter, and knowledge won't matter at that time. Pain will just consume the body.
Makes sense. Okay. So I think we had a lot of like old age and like kind of that kind of questions. So let's understand the importance of time with these questions, and then now let's move on to a question which can be something which we can reflect on and take as an action for us. So moving on to the next question, which is the last question for this. Imagine you are King Purañjana facing pivotal decision. You decide to embark on a journey of self-discovery. What would be your first actionable step? And I purposefully chose actionable here because someone would be like, okay, I'll just ask a question, because from question you can start a journey of discovery as well. You can start with your thought, but what is the actual action that one will take? Uh, hmm. Right. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have showed this responses, but it's fine. Yeah, that is fine, knowledgeable person, which is more like seek guidance, find a guide. So it is tying into one thing. Listen to wise people again, and chant and pray. Read or inquire could be one bucket. Self-reflect. Yeah. Does and I think many of us here would have already taken that, or we understand that, yeah, there has been some inquiry that has already been done by us, and we have taken that step, so they can share that, or yeah, probably open to share like what was the first step you took as a start to your yeah, so we can probably advise King Puranjan. Would have advised. Get association, that's a new thing. If I were to say, I think in my life, self-reflect and reading has helped a lot to understand things. But then, of course, that can only take you as far as whatever your mental capability can handle. But then to seek more, you would need to reach out to people, as in right association, then wise people, and then of course ultimately the supreme can basically reveal all the knowledge inside us.
I mean, I guess reaching out is the most crucial point, because even where, like, another, coming to a Shastric example again, very famous example, like Arjuna was facing a pivotal decision, right? And he said, कार्पण्य दोषोपहत स्वभावा, यच्छ्रेयस्या निशितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्ते हम साधिमाम त्वां प्रपन्नम, I become your disciple, right? He reached out to Krishna. Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj also, he reached out when he heard that the curse happened. He reached out to for higher association. So in every case, when someone is on their uh, either on their deathbed or in a pivotal decision they have to make, which is very important to them, then yeah, reaching out is very crucial.
Okay, yeah, I hear your point. It's
Yeah.
facing pivotal decision is one of the key points you're bringing up, that maybe casually we can just self-reflect and read, but when we are actually facing some pivotal decision,
Yeah.
we may not have that much. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Totally agree.
I mean, that seeking that guidance could come from praying, could come from reading also. I definitely agree. It has happened with me in many occasions, and I'm pretty sure it has happened with many of us that we might be contemplating something, and then we, after a week or after a few days, we suddenly end up reading or hearing something about that.
Mhm.
Does happen. Or maybe it's just a case of, you know, we are thinking about something, so we are more likely to choose something related to that from what we hear, right? That bias could be there, but in any case, that does happen, that uh, it leads to seeking some, receiving some sort of guidance from reading, from chanting, so something like that. So, but yeah, as you said, the mental interface is involved over there, so that interface can take things anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's why, to be grounded, I think seeking guidance is crucial.
Yes. Yes, and for different people, it can manifest in a different way. Um, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely asking questions. At the initial stage, I was asking way too many questions. Yeah, that one helped me. I mean, of course, in the side by side, I was chanting, praying, reading, but the one that really made a connection for me was asking questions and getting answers. Yeah.
Yeah. I just finished the Four Questions book. It basically shows the power of asking questions and how we can really ask a question to get deep reflection of things. Yeah.
Actually, just based on what Mataji said, for me it was listening, because I didn't even know what I was looking for. I didn't even know that I had to pray. But somehow, by listening and by reading, the whole concept of prayer awakened, was shown to me. So I think my first step, even though I don't, even so, YouTube can be a curse and a sin. YouTube has done me a lot of, it's been my first Shiksha Guru, non-living Shiksha Guru. So YouTube gave me a lot of good classes to listen.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
So I wrote Pray Prabhu, and for me in my life also it was a prayer that connected me to devotees, and it was I mean, I didn't even know how to pray, but I just looked up and just I said that, if Lord, if you are there, just take me to my next step. That is what I prayed. And then the very next weekend, I met devotees, and I'm convinced that it was that prayer that helped. And also, several places in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that whether we like it or not, all of our journeys have started with prayer only. In fact, in the third canto, it is mentioned that every one of us, actually, when we are in the womb itself, we pray to the Lord. Of course, atheists may not believe this. I mean, you can pull it up if you want, Prabhu. It's 3:31:18, but people can look it up later if you want. But Srimad Bhagavatam 3:31:18, if you read the translation and purport, it clearly shows that all of our journeys start with prayer. I don't want to make you stop here. Yeah, now go down a little bit. Just zoom in a little bit because my eyesight is. Yeah, the prayer of a child. Yeah, right there. Yeah, everything, even the translation also. You read the translation. My dear Lord, by your causeless mercy, I am awakened to consciousness, although I am only 10 months old. For this causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the friend of all fallen souls, there is no way to express my gratitude but to pray with folded hands. So, and then if you see Srila Prabhupada also in the purport, he says this prayer for a child in the womb, yeah, maybe questioned by some atheist people, but how can a child pray in such a nice way in the womb of a mother? But everything is possible by the grace of the Lord. The child is put into a precarious condition externally, but internally he is the same, and the Lord is there. By the transcendental energy of the Lord, everything is possible. Anyway, just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Yeah, I also understand that. Yeah, it's mostly maybe not consciously, but we are in some way or the other always praying. But if we do it consciously, then it's much more received because it's intentional. Very. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing that. Yes, Samaksh Prabhu or Mataji, you have your hand up.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Yeah, Prabhu, I think I would echo Gautama Prabhu's words again, prayer for me. Because I've always experienced that even when I try to do other things like reading, listening, I'm because I don't know, lack of discipline and all the other factors, I'm not able to do that. So if I pray that please Krishna make me do this, I really want to. So it works many times, and sometimes it doesn't because of my shortcomings. And the other thing that I remember that Gautama Prabhu always says that when a devotee prays for you, then you become a devotee. So even my prayer and someone else's prayer who might have prayed for me, or so I think that really helps. That's yeah, Prabhu, that's my reflection. And I also had a question that sorry, Prabhu, I just missed that the last verse you showed. So who was like speaking this verse? Like who's the child praying this? I must have missed the details.
Oh, wait, I'm checking. It's 31. Lord Kapila's instructions. It's in the Lord Kapila's instructions in chapter 3.
So I don't think it's not, it doesn't talk about any specific person, like they don't name it. Like Lord Kapila doesn't name it. He's just describing the process of birth.
Yeah.
And in that process of birth, he's saying in general, a child at that age is suffering and therefore prays, that kind of a thing. So, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it says the human soul says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, this is the one that like I read when I was pregnant with Radha. Yeah, like how a soul prays to the God. Yeah, it's generic. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, I mean, if, of course, this is Shastra, so it's true, but then the covering of ignorance is so thick that, we are praying and after about what, 5-10 years, we totally forget about it. So yeah, it's so powerful, the covering of ignorance, Maya, or whatever we may want to call it as.
5-10 years, I thought it's like moment, like immediately after comes out.
I
We
mean,
forget, right?
it's like there is some innocence at least initially. Like I can see Prithu, there is some innocence. I see Radha also. There is some innocence. It's like they are not totally by default averse to higher truths, by default averse to Krishna consciousness. But then, as and when the world starts influencing them, then they the covering becomes thicker and thicker. Is observed in kids. But yeah,
That's true.
Yeah. Like now, we teach anything to kids at this age, they just pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Just pick it up. They don't rebel. They don't obstruct their flow of what they want to do. But yeah, anyway, sorry to digress, but
Yeah, I think yeah, that was all from my side. I think it's also time. Thank you for patiently handling my questions and participating. Hope it was little insightful, but yeah, it was very quick prep, whatever I could do. Thank you for bearing it.
You made it nice and interactive, Prabhu. You made us think. I just wanted to chime in to what Jagannath Gopal Prabhu said about children being, at that age, being more receptive to learn. I will highly recommend Radhika Raman Prabhu's discussion in the Namras podcast, the most recent one.
engaging with the world.
Yeah, engaging with the world. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in my list. I want to hear it. Yeah.
Yes, he has some very nice instructions and ideas in there. It's worth listening to on that topic.
Got it.
Okay. Can you share that, Prabhu, in the group?
Yes,
so
yes,
that
I can
we all
put that.
yeah.
I can put that in. He's a fantastic speaker, and he's a professor and a great presenter.
I mean, I guess he's the epitome of the inclination to learn, I guess, in kids. Like he's since his childhood, he's been like a prodigious kid, and the success of homeschooling, the first success of homeschooling, I guess, within ISKCON. So yeah.
Probably only success.
Oh, I didn't want to say that, but it's true.
Sorry, this is being recorded. Sorry.
We'll edit it out, Mataji.
I think the first public success. I'm sure there are a lot of successes. I think there must be lots and lots of successes, and the first public success who also became a professor, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. The first public success. But then see, the movement was in a stage that, if there is a success, then it would become public. Like this is such a thing that it's tough to keep it private, success in homeschooling. But I agree. I definitely do agree that there could be more successes which we do not know about.
There is a nice definition of redefining success by Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. I'll post that video also.
Yeah.
Excellent talk that he has done at Rice University. Or you can just Google for SB Keshav Maharaj Rice University and it'll pop up. So, I think our definition of success is obviously in material, in material terms. And so there may be a lot of Gurukuli kids from the 70s, who are probably very happy. We just don't know them. They may be successful too.
That is true. That is true. I mean, if we redefine success, then that's a whole different discussion for sure. Yeah, very true. But I guess in terms of, like there is this interesting survey that was done. Again, I don't mean to digress, but they did like a survey, and I verified this with a couple of devotees. Gaur Kumar Prabhu also I asked. So the highest rate of children taking to the process that their parents, the spiritual process or whatever, the religious cultural process that their parents adopted, the highest rate, is in the Amish community. Now, if anyone knows, the Amish community is like a totally isolated community. They have their own borders. They have their own like places where they live together and whatnot. So they are like, they don't have any, like they have minimal contact, I guess, with the external world. And then even all their alliances, marriages happen within that community. So they have the highest rate of kids taking to the process. But then in ISKCON, the number is very discouraging, is what I had heard. Now, of course, If we make it subjective by redefining success, that's a different issue. But I guess this is in terms of, kids taking to the process and, maybe going to the point of committed practice and things like that. In that respect, it is less I've heard. And there is something very beautiful that, so we were in Dallas last year, I think, yeah, Sadhu Sangha 2023. Few of us, we went together. There was Gaur Kumar Prabhu, Mataji, Radha Kripa. There was Vallabh Chaitanya Prabhu, Manu Mataji. Then Karan Prabhu, Sundari Saki Mataji was there. So Manan Prabhu was there. Yeah, a few of us, we went, and we were so Maharaj gave initiations there, and there were other Prabhupada disciples, and Maharaj requested them to speak. And in that initiation ceremony, actually, there were many young devotees, the children of these congregation members in Dallas that took initiation that day. And addressing these initiates, this Prabhupada disciple said something really nice. He said that instead of asking why are our kids not taking to the process, it's better to ask whether we are creating an environment for them to take to the process, which was very revealing to me, because we often complain, we see statistics and complain, oh, kids are not taking to bhakti, what has happened. But then it's actually up to us, the onus is on the parents, whether we are creating that environment which will encourage the children to take to Krishna consciousness. So, but anyway, with that lofty thought, I would like to shut my mouth. So, sorry.
Good point, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I think I'm done. Thank you for thank you for participating.
Thank you, Ritesh Prabhu. This was so good. You did a wonderful job, and the way you asked these thought-provoking questions and the discussions that they triggered were really nice and deep. Thank you very much. I mean, one thing I'm realizing is, as more and more devotees are coming forward and leading these sessions, it's becoming really nice the way everybody is leading the sessions, and the way everybody is coming with novel approaches to discuss Krishna conscious topics, and go deep into them. So this is really nice. Thank you for that, Ritesh Prabhu. I'm so glad that I approached you. So
Yeah, I just echoed what Samaksh Prabhu did, basically, like
yeah.
just copied it. Thanks to Samaksh Prabhu for bringing that.
Yes, menti.com will get a lot of customers now from Life of Devotion group. Thanks to Samaksh Prabhu. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. I also want to chime in there, because I think the way you led the class, now we will not forget Kālakanyā and Baya, and through your teaching process, you have made sure that these things that were explained by Narad Muni now will find a place in our heads. So thank you for doing this, Prabhu.
Also, I want to appreciate how thought-provoking it was, Ritesh Prabhu. You made us all think not just about the past time, but also about our own lives and about our own journeys. So I really appreciated that. We need more classes like this, where we start deeply thinking about our own lives and where we are in the journey and how we would like to take it forward. And just like how life starts with birth, and we pray at birth, like every day when we wake up, we should pray, and before sleeping also we should pray. So that way, when the final moment comes, we'll be able to pray again. And if you think about it, the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, it's all filled with the prayers. Queen Kunti's prayers, Gajendra's prayers, Draupadi's prayers. Everywhere there's prayers only. So it starts with prayers, our life goes through with prayers, and we end with prayer also, ideally. So thank you, Ritesh Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Any final thoughts, Jagannath Gopal Prabhu?
No, I think that's good. Any announcements, Prabhuji?
So yeah, Govardhan Puja Saturday.
Yeah.
That's the only announcement. Thank you, Prabhus. Hare Krishna.
And if any of you are in New York City on Sunday, please let us know. Let me know. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.